Hello, let's start the long journey of learning New Testament Greek. And where better to start than with the Greek alphabet? And I apologize for you modern Greeks and you purists because I'm going to use a somewhat Erasmian pronunciation as has been done for the last few centuries. That doesn't make it right. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. Now I've said my alpha, beta, gammas. Tell me what you think of my pajamas. That doesn't really work, does it? And now without the song. So alpha is kind of a ah sound. I think we all agree on that. Beta is a b sound. Sometimes it's called vita in modern Greek, but I'm going to pronounce it b, beta. Gamma is g. It's never j. It's g, gamma. Delta, modern Greek would be delta, but let's go with delta, d. Epsilon, e. Then we have zeta, z. I'm going to do it as a dz in the middle of a word, baptizo, z. At the beginning of a word, I'm just going to pronounce it with a z, zebra, which is not a Greek word, I don't think. But anyway, eta, this I'm going to pronounce it as a. And I realize that's going to freak a bunch of modern Greeks out and also some purists out because probably at the time of Jesus it was pronounced e. But for pedagogical reasons and for the last few hundred years, it's been pronounced a. It's called Erasmian pronunciation, so I'm going to go with a, the Fonzie. You don't know what that is, do you? Okay, eta, theta. I'm going to pronounce it as th. Again, originally it might have been more of a breathy t, but I'm going to go with th, theos, God. Iota. I'm going to pronounce this usually e. It could be I if it's short and e if it's long. Machine, for example. I'm going to go with e as my kind of default pronunciation for iota. Kappa, k. I'm going to stop there. Lambda, l. Mu, Nu, I know that looks like a V. I'm sorry, I didn't make it up. I'm going to say this repeatedly throughout this course. I did not make it up. It's not my fault that that looks like a V. It's a It's a nu. Nu. The knights that say nu. Xi. I'm going to pronounce it like an X. X. Omicron or Omicron. It's a small little O. It's a micro O. This is some variation in how people pronounce it. Probably O. A short O is probably right. You'll hear me slip into aw. A lot of Greek teachers go with aw for Omicron, just because that way you can distinguish it between the omega, which is a long O. It's hard for us English speakers to hear the difference between O as a short sound and O as a long sound in the duration. But anyway, Omicron or Omicron, if you want to have it as a short, long O. P, we're not going to say pi. This is P, P. Rho, again, I'm sorry, it looks like a P, but it's not. In Greek, it's a rho. It's a and so we just have to deal with these things. Sound. Sigma. Sigma actually has two different forms. And before you complain, it's worse in Hebrew. But in the beginning or middle of a word, it's going to have this kind of I've kind of got a flick going here. Look, he's got a flick. Isn't he lovely? And then at the end of a word, it looks more like conventional S. So sigma. S. Tau is t. Upsilon, if you want to go fancy, you could do a kind of German U. But probably most of the time we'll just go U. Because I'm American, you expect me to pronounce things this way, right? Phi, it's not phi, that's fraternity language or sorority language. It's phi in our Greek land, and it's a. Now again, it might have originally been more of a p, explosive p, but I'm going to probably degenerate. I'm degenerative, and I'm going to pronounce it f probably most of the time. K. Again, this would be kind of a breathy lachlomen, But anyway, we're going to just go with a k. If you want to go a little, you're welcome to. Your friends will wonder what you're doing. Do I need to do the Heimlich? But anyway, K. Ps. No, your tire doesn't have a leak. This is ps. Psi. It is a PS sound. Ps. Okay. Omega. This is the big O. And again, probably the distinction would have been between a shorter duration of the sound O for Omicron and O, a longer duration for omega. That's difficult for me to hear as an English speaker, American English speaker. Maybe British English speakers and Australians do better with it. But anyway, a lot of times people will say "aw" for the Omicron because then you can distinguish more easily in English between ah and o. But really, it was probably the duration of the sound. Well, this video is getting too long, Ken, so I want to sing that song one more time, and then I'll leave you alone. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. Now I've said my alpha, beta, gammas. Tell me what you think of my pajamas. Thank you. This has been the Greek alphabet. Nope, not yet.